This week and next we're covering Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, a very acclaimed book, and gives great advice, great stories of people who have, through failure, achieved. It's a fantastic blueprint and great strategies we can use in order for us to become rich in his own mentality, in his own thinking. I know for me personally, I was asked the question, what does it mean to be Dean? And I could never answer that question, and I never took any actionable steps to find that. I hit rock bottom, and through learning, through reading from the books I've shared to this book today, and the books I will continue sharing, allowed me to change my perspective, allowed me to become rich in my own thought process, to answer the question, what does it mean to be Dean? And during this pandemic, with mental health so prominent, such an issue, that having something we can take as minds off and to learn and exercise the mind and keep the mind occupied is a good thing. And in doing so, we can actually enrich our own lives and create more positive mindset. I know I need this. So the 13 steps we're going to cover is desire, 2, faith, 3, auto-suggestion, 4, specialist knowledge, 5, imagination, 6, organised planning, 7, decisions, 8, persistence, 9, power mastermind, 10, mastering sexual transmutation, which is just a great title, 11, subconscious mind, 12, the brain, and 13, the sixth sense. So later on, we'll cover desire. Until then, take care. What is your desire? How big is your desire? Is it to lose weight, earn more money, get a job, change career, do something different? Is it realistic? I know when I was asked, what does it mean to be Dean? For many months, I grappled with that question every day. But I didn't have a burning desire to actually want to answer the question, until one day I decided that my desire, my burning desire to answer it, was so strong that I took actionable steps. How did I take those actionable steps? I broke it down. I fixated in my mind what I wanted to achieve, and I wrote that down. What is it I wanted to do? Mine was to answer the question, what does it mean to be Dean? So that's what I fixated in, what I wanted, my desire in what I wanted to do. What was I willing to give up, sacrifice? What was, when it got hard and uncomfortable, was I going to give up? And why are the steps to why I wasn't going to give up? So I wrote that down. Time frame. What time frame, realistic time frame, was I going to start and finish? What were the steps I was going to take within that time frame? And then plan the steps I was going to take each day. So for me, it was picking up a book and reading. For me, it was getting different perspectives. Is to go and experience, action and experience. It's to find out why I was the person I was, and to understand how I can change me, so I can answer what does it mean to be Dean, to know me, to love me. So I planned each step, actionable, small steps. And then I wrote a statement of what that entailed, why I was going to achieve, what motivated me to find what it means to be Dean, why that was so important. And with that statement, I put it up in my room. It was a visual point, a daily visual point to remind myself why I wanted to do the hard work, get uncomfortable, to find out what does it mean to be me. And then as time went on and I learned more and more about myself, I changed that statement. As I grew, the statement grew. But it was that visual point every day reminding me of my burning desire to find out what it meant to be me. So I'm asking you, what does it mean to be you? What's your burning desire? If it's burning desire, what steps are you going to take? Write them down, put a statement and put it up, and then work that plan, work them steps. And if it needs to change, then change it. But if it's a burning desire, you know that you're willing to put in the hard work and willing to get uncomfortable to achieve it. So that's desire. Tomorrow we're covering faith. Until then, take care. Auto suggestion from the book is changing our subconscious thinking. What I've learned to call my inner voice, my subconscious voice and my conscious voice. My subconscious voice is my ditch voice, which only tells me to ditch things, to do it another day. It's to not try it because it's hard, it's uncomfortable, to stay where we are, in the place we are. That's my ditch voice, the subconscious voice. My boss voice is my conscious voice, which tells me that I can do and to do it now, and we can become better from it and we can grow. And auto-suggestion is that self-talk and is that bridge between influencing and being aware of a self-talk and when it happens. By doing so, one of the tips in the book is visualization. And I think this is major in terms of changing our whole thought process. And it's really uncomfortable and quite, for some people it's quite out there. But a subconscious voice, a subconscious thinking doesn't understand reality to non-reality. So by visualizing, but not just visualizing ourselves and how we want to be or where we want to be or what we want to have, we actually really get deep in this visualization of, the place we are, what we can see around us, who's there, the communication we have, what we hear, what we smell, and really go deep, because that's the way we can influence a subconscious mind, a subconscious voice, a ditch voice. So visualization is a big thing. For me, I took that in terms of what it means to be Dean, to help me follow through on the steps, to help me get to the end and visualize what I will learn about me, what it means to be me. And I've used it every day since. So that's auto-suggestion. What is your ditch voice, boss voice telling you? How are you going to change your ditch voice? How are you going to really push forward with your boss voice? I want you to take control of this. Tomorrow, we're talking about specialist knowledge. So until then, take care. Specialist knowledge, what does that mean? Just means you're learning. More importantly, your self-education. Every day is a school day. My takeaways from it is that self-education is the most important education we can learn. Because through self-education, we are going to action it. But remember that it's all right gaining the knowledge, but if we aren't planning and then actioning, that knowledge will become useless. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's same with knowledge. Knowledge through inaction becomes forgotten, and you don't benefit from what you've learned. So for me, in understanding what it means to be Dean, I understood that I actually liked reading. I actually liked learning about personal development, about mentality, about business, about entrepreneurism, about marketing. I actually enjoyed the process of reading, of gaining knowledge, and I actually enjoyed actioning and then seeing the benefit, which doesn't happen straight away. It takes time, patience for it to actually become a part of as daily living. And I'm proof of that. You know, you don't see a benefit straight away, so you give up. That ditch voice kicks in and tells you it ain't working, so you stop. But remember that through self-education and planning and action, that's where our superpower is. That's where our power is to educate. Our power is to change ourselves through our self-education. So if it's a job or career you want to go into, you want to change career, then go on Udemy or Indeed and do a course on the job you want to do. See if it actually gives you that satisfaction you're looking for in your career. You gain the knowledge, and if you do like it, then you've already made a step towards making that a reality. If you're looking at losing weight, the same applies. You can look into the different exercises you can take. You can make notes on and plan the exercising you want to do. And as long as you take action, repeatable daily action, then that will be the reality eventually of what you do, you'll achieve. So for me, my self-education has been so important. Every day is a school day, is a great saying. And as long as we can learn and fail, but learn again, action, and eventually grow, that's what, to me, specialist knowledge was about. And it's something I use every day now. A tip, I use a little book. It's just where, from what I read, from what I see, I make notes, those knowledge of great information, those value to which I can use in my daily life, whether that's changing my own perspective, my own view to how I look at things, to coming up with different strategies, different mindset to go and do. And as long as we go do an action, we'll grow from it. So that's specialist knowledge. Tomorrow, we're talking about imagination. So until then, take care. Imagination. Imagination in the book is the workshop of the mind. Let's think about that for a minute. Workshop of the mind. Imagination. It's a great way to look at our imagination. Imagination to me is just ideas. Ideas we have. Different ideas. Different ways in looking at things, doing things. And using what we know, what we create, and actioning it and doing it. In the book, he says that there's two different imaginations. There's synthetic imagination, which means that we just have different combinations for old ideas and old plans, which is, to me, just as good as two. The creative imagination, so that's your singers, your songwriters, your poets, anything to do with something new. Business, you could say Apple with the phone, McDonald's, KFC, all these were original creative ideas. And that's all imagination is ideas. It's making notes of those ideas and then actioning on the ideas. And if it fails, reorganise, replan and action again. I think ideas are brilliant, and imagination is the key to that. And again, I'd say it's the work of the mind is imagination, and I love that. I think that's a great way to look at ideas. In myself, in understanding what it means to be Dean, I found that I had a lot of ideas, a lot of imagination of new things I want to do, on new products I want to design, on new mental strategies I wanted to implement, to which I make notes in my little book of all the different ideas. What are your ideas? What's your imagination? Are you taking notes? Are you planning? Are you looking to want to build something from that? And if not, why not? Why not? Why not go and plan an action and see where it takes you, and see the growth in doing what you can achieve from it? I think it's a marvellous, unique thing to us all, is imagination. So make your notes, learn to action, and see where you go from there. Tomorrow we're talking about organised planning and what that entails. So until then, take care. I'm making these little mini-series in the books I've read to teach you what I've learned, how we can have a different perspective, a different view, which we can put into his own life. I want to inspire you to reach your potential, to not settle on you and the life you live right now, how you can change that by learning, planning and actioning, which leads me on to today's organised planning from Think and Grow Rich. So what is organised planning? Organised planning is the skill we learn in managing time, resources and tools, delegation maybe even. At least in the book, that's what Napoleon Hill goes deep in. He's explaining the organisational planning which needs to take place. My takeaways is, when we come to planning, we've got to be very smart in this planning. So specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and in a time frame. So it's alright aiming for his goal and his dream, as burning desire, but it's actually making a very small plan, a structured plan for our mindset to be able to follow, for our being to do every day. So make a plan, be specific in what your planning is, the small steps, if it's 10 or 15 minutes per day towards what we want to be. Take the learnings, read the books I'm sharing with you, and get your own perspectives in your own views and be able to action on. And spend that little time by the planning you're doing, not generic of what you want to achieve, but by making them generic dream, that generic burning desire, into small steps we can take every single day. Once we design that plan and we start actioning on it, we start learning what works and what doesn't, what his wins and his fails are. And remember, fail is first attempt in learning. And we've only have his fails and have his wins by actioning on the plan we want to achieve. Whether that's your own personal mindset, if that's to achieve a certain goal in weight, in career, in job, in life. planning is so important. So get really specific, make the notes, put the work in, learn from what the work you're doing, and change it as and when you need to. Remember, you're in control of you. You can change. By planning equals results. Failure to plan is plan to fail. Failure to prepare to fail. You know, just don't quit. A winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. Just remember that. So go learn, action and do, and plan. Plan. Tomorrow we're talking about decisions. Until then, take care. Persistence from the book is continuing to take a course of action in spite of difficulty, resistance, opposition, misfortune, even though you don't see the end result straight away. You need to be self-reliant. You need to plan, and plan small. You need to gain the right knowledge. Once we gain the right knowledge, it's taking action on that knowledge. It's willpower. It's willpower to continue to do what you know is right and you need to do. And in doing so, you'll form a new habit. Over time, through that persistence, that habit will be formed. It's like working out and exercising a muscle. The more you work out, the more you exercise that muscle grows. So each step, although it is uncomfortable, are steps you need to take in order to build that muscle. What discourages you? Well, one of the biggest is negative discouragement from people around us. It's not having the right knowledge, but not wanting to gain the right knowledge. It's not being definitive in the goal you want, in the plan you want. Procrastination plays a major role, which stops you from taking the action. You're not motivated. You're wishing it to happen. You struggle with fear of criticism and judgment from those around us, from the mistakes you make. And it's coming out of your comfort zone. So that's procrastination. So that's persistence. I believe that it's not the accomplishment of reaching that success in what you're trying to do. It's what you become in every step you do. It's how you develop as a person. It's stretching that muscle within you. So be persistent, set a goal, have the plan, back yourself and have that belief. Show willpower and take the little steps each day. Tomorrow we're covering Master of the Mind. So until then, take care. The mystery of sex transmutation. Now, this seems a very sordid kind of subject, but so is not. So in the book, it briefly explains the difference. So I'm going to try and break it down a little bit easier and look at transmutation first. So transmutate means to change your energy from one subject to another. It's changing your mind to looking at doing one thing, but then transmute it to doing another. So if you're focused on mentally losing weight, you're then transmuting that energy into action to actually start losing weight, is what I understand. Transmute means just moving from one energy to another. The sex part is the interesting part. So it's not sex or to do with a gender of sex. It's to do with the stimulation you get in terms of sex and linking that to the same stimulation to your mind you get from your burning desire. So I guess it was just kind of a marketing stunt per se, but using science and just using different words to explain it. So let me explain that again. The sex has the same stimulation to the mind as burning desire. So if we have a burning desire for something, we're enthusiastic, we're energetic about, as we are with sex, but in a burning desire, in a desire of what we want to do as goal, as dream, then we'll have the same commitment to finding, to doing, to being. Again, I'm kind of maybe not using the right words when we're talking about sex. So the sex is the burning desire, and the transmutate is to use that burning desire and take action and to experience and to learn. So that's kind of my takeaway in terms of the book, in terms of how it's means, in terms of what does it mean to be Dean. Again, I had this burning desire to understand what it means to be Dean, so I took action on that, and got, give energy to it, and I transmutated by gaining the knowledge and putting it into action. I hope that made sense. The book, clearly goes deeper into explaining that particular, the mystery of sex transmutation, but I've tried to just explain it in my words, and I hope you can understand that. Until next time. Tomorrow we're talking about the subconscious mind. A fascinating discussion, one I can talk about a lot, but I keep it brief. Until then, take care.